demonic angel, and today we are going to take a look at the two-path spread. I actually did this reading for a good friend of mine, and it was so clear-cut that I wanted to use it as an example of a reading and just kind of put some thoughts into it. So here we go. So the two-path spread is this bottom part is the critical factor that's going to lead somebody to one of these two choices, because that's the two-path spread. That's when somebody's presented with this thing or that thing, and they have to make a choice. So it is very popular. Obviously, you know, some larger spreads like the Celtic Cross, and they're great. They're just more of this insightful thing. This is geared towards helping somebody make a decision. Okay, so the top ones though, this is right here is this path and that path, and this is the first outcome at the top. This is the second outcome at the top right. Then we have the factor drawing you to this outcome, possible outcome, and the other factor drawing you to this possible outcome. Okay? So essentially, we have in the top right here, we have the Seven of Wands and Valor. So Valor reversed. This is obviously, this is somebody who they're fighting a battle, obviously, and as you could see, the gentleman's fighting these other wands around him that they're faceless. So this could mean a lot of things, like this is a person's internal struggle with, their mind. Could be other opponents in some way. But if it's reversed in this scenario, they're not really fighting the good fight with courage. They're overwhelmed, being overwhelmed, obviously, even upright. The Seven of Wands is a really crazy struggle. But in an upright, obviously, there's this show display of courage. Underneath that, we have the reversed Ace of Pentacles. And really, this is the seed of debauchery. Let's say it could be anything like along these lines of immediate sexual gratification, drug use, alcohol, recklessly spending money, anything that is like the seed of physical excess, but obviously it's reversed. So this is giving up stability, to pursue immediate gratification. So obviously, like, this first choice, really, the first path, is this person is just feeling overwhelmed, and they're trying to fight, but then they end up losing themselves to some kind of escapism in the form of anything that is just this quick physical gratification. Obviously, it's not really gratifying, it's not going to last, and it is unhealthy, but that is what they're going to end up drawn towards as a way to cope with being overwhelmed. And this is due to their lack of courage and commitment to themselves, knowing who they are. So we have the critical factor here at the bottom, but this is your first possible outcome. And what I do have to say about this is you don't have to be an intuitive or hereditary witch to read these. You could do the numerology aspect, and obviously the suit of understanding the suits. The suit of pentacles has to do with the earth, physical realm, finances, and stability, like your job. So things that have to do with maintaining your regular life. Cups have to do, the suit of cups have to do with emotions, and the suit of swords have to do with air and intellect. So if you just familiarize yourself with some basic concepts in tarot, you can just read the story really easy. And I really do like this spread when somebody's trying to make a choice too. It's really easy. And you can just, if you need to maybe really look at that person, but you know, it's easy to, the more you practice, I would say, the better it is, the easier it is to understand how to tell somebody, and tell somebody something gracefully. If they get some cards, like let's just say they get the Three of Swords and the Tower and Death and a reading, you know, you need to be graceful and tactical about it, because there is value in all of these cards. This is all the individuation process. I also see that as the, you know, like that pertaining to Carl Jung. It doesn't have to be supernatural. This is just the journey of the Fool through life. So you can understand it that way if you like. That's very easy to look at these different aspects of it. And just practice, and it really becomes easy. It's much like palmistry, where it kind of can be awkward or at first, but the more you do it, the more you can learn to captivate somebody and craft what you say. Be gentle, be kind, show somebody the value of Death in the Tower. Oh, don't say, oh, this is really bad. It's still meaningful, and we're all going to be able to relate to that in some way. We're going to have to go through that process mentally in our lives. So explain to somebody the positive value. Hey, this is kind of scary and chaotic with the Tower, but this is a chance to start over. This is, you know, this is a chance to build this tower the right way for you. So that's just some advice I have. Sorry to get off track, I guess, but so on the left-hand side, getting back to this, we have the Knight of Swords. It's kind of hard to see, I know, but the Knight of Swords, he's upright. So in the second part of the path, somebody could choose. It's like they are swift intellect that obviously understands its position. It inspires people with the purity of their mind and their purpose. So this is like somebody that really does know themselves, and they understand the intellectual forces behind making things happen, you know, like in Pentacles in the financial or physical world. This is this understanding. It's very quick. It is conscious. It's thinking. Underneath here, we have the Ace of Cups, and the cups have to do with emotion. And this is the seed of the cup. So, you know, above here we really have the Holy Spirit. This is divine emotion, the start of the divine emotional understanding. It's just overflowing with water. And this is such a good thing to experience your emotions freely in a present kind of way. So if somebody's been away in some of these reversed types of cards, then here they can be present emotionally again. And at the bottom we have the Six of Pentacles. which I really like. I was just talking about that being tied with Marbas. And so here I am again. I like to see how I redraw the same types of cards, but this is a give and take relationship, essentially. Obviously, this is, even the man giving stuff is getting something. He is gaining experience. The experience of helping somebody is so rich that it does enrich the emotions and the intellect of the giver. It still is tying them to the physical realm, like in the case of Marbas, where he is a goetic spirit. Well, then now he's tied to, it helps tie him to us humans, and here's this give and take relationship. So the critical factor that will come to pass. So obviously we could read this like, the seven of Wands is this person who is overwhelmed, and they are trying to fight, but they eventually they get tempted by losing themselves in escapism in some way, as we talked about. And that is this give and take relationship, and that's what has to do with it. So they're just they end up just taking, and they really, of course, end up taking from themselves by going down this road of escapism. So in the end, we hope that they learn from their escapism, and then they find some empathy and value in that, but that's the first path. This other path, though, is somebody who they know themselves. I mean, even the wind in the trees here is going against the rider. But this person, they know who they are, and they know what they think, and they know what they want. And they're able to go forward. They are pure. We see some of the blue and everything here. It's really pure intellect, pure purpose. This is good intentions. He's not afraid to fight, though. He's got his sword, but he knows who he is, and this is because this factor that is kind of behind this is some kind of emotional awakening for this person. Now they're going to be fulfilled emotionally and present in the moment, and they're going to be able to move on with the pursuit of what they are going to do is going to be successful, because it has the backing of a strong emotional understanding and basis. So being somebody who can be present emotionally is very important. So it really is like, hey, you're going to be, this person in the end, they're going to be able to be emotionally present, or they're going to end up doing a form of escapism for a while. And then we have Valor, the Seven of Wands, or the Knight of Swords, which is the two outcomes. So obviously I did this one because it's pretty clear, and we want this person to go through this. Now, if they go through the other way, there's value in that, of course, because sometimes people just need to have an experience of being lost. Then they, what do I mean by the value of that is that if they do ever find themselves, not everybody does, in this situation, then they appreciate life. Because when you're lost and you become found, then this person can experience life in a present emotional way that is very rich, and they understand who they are. You become healthy, you can use your intellect and memory better. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. And obviously this situation is, this person is giving more. They're giving more of their emotions to understand other people, and they're going to use this gift to help other people through whatever that thing is for them. And so that is this critical factor. So is this person, are they going to be more of a giver or a taker for what is about to come to pass, determining which path they will take? And I mean, you can even explain it this way to somebody when you do a reading for them, and explain, well, when you go down this other road, be careful that you don't do escapism, because it is in your cards and it is very hard to get out of. So explain, stand your ground, know who you are, tell this person to work on their emotional health, and to do, with the pentacles here, we want to make this upright. So say, oh, I really want you to work on treating yourself in a moderate way. Go get that junk food once a week. Spend some time alone. Buy your video game, whatever. And that is really important. This level of self-care will help you maintain this fight and be courageous. Stand your ground. You need a break still while you're going to fight. So I do hope that helped. I think next I'm going to talk about some of the books, occult books that I recommend, because I had a subscriber ask me what books would I recommend, and I think I'll kind of I guess I'll just do like a rambling list in a sense, but I'll give a brief explanation of why I like such and such philosopher or magician, and then if you do want to do this reading, then go for it, because it's, of course, reading is the process of intellectual. So I've read the books I will mention. I've read all of them, and they've been a great help in my study of magic, of intellectualizing things. Because, of course, for me before, it was just this paranormal experiences without understanding. I hope you guys enjoyed this. That once again, this is the two-path spread. You have the critical factor that determines what will pass. Then you have the two paths. So this is the first path. That is the second path here. And then the factors drawing a person, the querent, to each one. So because this looks so clear cut and it was such an easy kind of story to tell, I wanted to use it as an example. Let me know what you guys think. Don't be afraid to let me know of any topics you would like to see covered here in the future. Check my links below for Twitter and Patreon. Thank you guys so much.